Hi. Oh, that scared Jimmy. I was going to start the Halloween stream with a cat in my lap, and then... hi, everybody. The Ghost Mode failed. Eddie, to get in switch wintertime yet, or is there the reason why we're an hour early? We're an hour early. Did you switch over to daylight savings time already? Because it's 10 a.m. I usually go at 10 to 12. It used to be 11 to 1. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. But yeah, we've been on 10 to 12 for a while now. Hi. Europe is already on wintertime. That would explain it. Yeah, no, we go back on this coming Sunday. It's when our clocks go back, so. Daylight savings time, eh? Gotcha. Yep. Understood. I understand those things now because I have chat here to help me understand them. Hi. It's spooky season. No, I didn't do the makeup this year. Yeah. It's a funny thing since I re-embraced my goth roots. I'm actually, and this has been the case for a long time, I've actually been less inclined to go hard on or around Halloween for my own fashion sense, just because people think you're dressing up for Halloween, where it's like, nah, man, this is just me. Sorry, you know? So I don't want people to think that I'm doing a Halloween bit. This is just me. But we are doing some Halloween stuff today because I got through everything I had on the docket last week. And so I had this week to kind of decide what I wanted to do. And of course, since we have a build stream the day before Halloween, how could I not acknowledge my national holiday, All Hallows Eve, Samhain, etc. So hi, how you doing? Yeah, we definitely, there's a really great older episode of the podcast, one of the podcasts that I listen to a lot, Brad and Will Made a Tech Pod, where they really do a deep dive into daylight savings time, why and how and what and why it's bad. So get the same issue in the Ghostbuster stuff every week, and after Halloween it's over. You know, that's the thing. It's like I'm very sad when Halloween is over. It just in any video game, but in my Warframe game particularly, I've got all the Halloween decorations up in my you know, the player housing area and stuff, and it's just, I don't want to take them down. But then again, around here, I mean, you should see the rest of our apartment. We're both old school goths, so it's like there's no, Halloween is in fact every day around here. Hey, Demon Dreamer, nice to see you, and Indy, of course. Thank you. Everyone's showing up today. Nice to see. Things have been weirdly quiet. Sorry, I gotta put my mic back here. Things have been weirdly quiet on the social media front lately. I don't know what's going on. I feel like people are ignoring me, and I know that's weird and wrong and stupid. Don't think like that. But it's hard to not get paranoid. It feels like engagement, quote unquote, has just fallen off a cliff, and I do not know why. But at your 7th, wow. COVID vaccine yesterday, like my annual flu shot. We are scheduled to go on Saturday. I got my doctor. I had a, here we go, medical stuff from the old man. My doctor started recommending, because of my age and because we don't know my family history, because I'm adopted, long story. He started recommending the pneumonia shot for earlier. So now that I'm 57, he's like, you know what, just go and get it. So he wrote me a prescription. So I got my pneumonia shot last week, and I had to make sure that it wasn't too soon before we had our COVID shot. That thing, I didn't have the kind of blowback I usually get from the COVID shot. The COVID shot can lay me out for 24 hours sometimes. But it was just, things felt weird for like 2 days afterwards. It was odd. But nevertheless, get your vaccines. Don't listen to RFK Jr. The hell does he know? Besides that, I grift people. I did a 3D print just finished. I'm all over the place today. Forgive me. 3D print just finished. I'm seeing if it can come off the printer yet. It's not ready. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so we're going to get our COVID shots on Saturday, I think. I do hope to stream some gaming this weekend. That will, of course, depend on how that all goes. I might try and aim to get it done on Saturday, because that way, because I never start feeling the gross side effects from any shot until like 24 hours later. So if I get the shot on Saturday and stream on Saturday, that should be fine. It should be in okay shape. So we'll see. It's actually quite warm in here. I'm thinking of opening the window already. We're going to have to, for what we've got planned today, because the big reveal's coming, don't worry. But I'm just going to go off camera here, enjoy Kermit. I should have dressed Kermit up for Halloween. Rock loves a good Halloween, you know. Oh no, it's raining and the rain is coming in the window. That's a bad thing. Oh boy. Okay, well, hang on. We're gonna have to deal with this because I do have to do stuff with the window open at least a little bit today. So, I've got the two windows. I've got one mostly closed, so there's still some ventilation. I'll probably show that maybe. Nope, you can't see it. Never mind. Kevin's having a week. What else is new? And yet we're here. Was it last week we missed? I think it was last week we missed, but the new tutorial went up, so all good. I try to always have something to go up on the Thursday if I can't, or just I'm not in the right headspace to stream. But yeah, Halloween, huh? So anyway, as I was saying, I'm even more scattered than usual, and that's an accomplishment. More coffee, that will make me less jittery. When I was thinking about what I wanted to do for Halloween, I'm probably leaning back so far that I'm out of focus. Yep. Sounds like you need to put a rain detector for the window when it's raining outside. I mean, looking out the window, as they say in Star Wars: A New Hope, pick up your visual scanning. That from the Death Star trench run. It just means look out the window. Pick up your visual scanning. Look. Don't rely on your instruments. Actually look outside. You've got a big old glass cockpit. You can just look outside the X-Wing and see where the TIE Fighter is. Anyway. There's my ancient critique of Star Wars: A New Hope, which came out in 1977. Yeah, Halloween builds. So, I was thinking about, okay, I need to do something special for Halloween. Considering the materials I have and or could get, my options were limited. I also wanted to do something that I haven't done before. I've done lots of, vampires in Nosferatu. I've done a couple of Frankenstein variations, etc. I've done a werewolf small. I haven't done a mummy yet. Mummies are a tricky thing. I saw, was it JoJo Puppet Studios, I think? If I remember correctly, I try not to spend a lot of time on social media, but I think it was JoJo's Puppet Studio who did a mummy this year as one of their Halloween builds, and it was real good. Well done. If you are seeing this in some fashion. I haven't done a mummy yet, so that may be on the agenda next time, but I couldn't think of anything that I could make in a reasonable amount of time that would be seasonally appropriate, and then I had inspiration. Because of the patterns I had, this is what I came up with. So, not to put too fine a point on it, but with no further ado, our Halloween build this year is a tribute to one of the great horror comedies of all time, and in the memory of the late, great, wonderful, genius comedy performer that was Marty Feldman. This year, it is Igor from Young Frankenstein. So, here's where we are currently. And it's probably hard to see because there's a lot of black on this screen right now. Maybe if we go to, let's try. I don't think the puppet camera will be good here because the focus is weird. Oh, maybe we can get there. Okay. So here's where we are currently. Now, I'll put up a picture of Marty soon, but there's a couple of nice things going on here. As you can see, we're pretty far along. Marty's costume, thankfully, in Young Frankenstein, it is Igor. Remember, it's pronounced Igor. Marty's costume is very simple, thankfully, and it just looks like black. It's just like a black bodysuit, basically, with a cloak over to the top, but we're not going to do the cloak. We're just going to do the black bodysuit part, clearly. And because he does actually just have that for a lot of the film. And when I realized that I've got this sort of underbite, pointy head version, I thought, oh, you know what, that'll make actually a pretty good Igor. Particularly if we do, the Marty Feldman style eyes. So what we need to do now, and of course the other thing is, of course, the character Igor has a hunchback. I didn't want to lean too far into that because, let's be real, the whole hunchback in horror thing is really quite ableist, and I think maybe the time has passed for that kind of humor. At least I hope it has. So, although it is kind of an intrinsic part of the character, right? So rather than having this big, ridiculous comic hump, as it were, I decided to go for more of just a head-forward Mr. Burns style posture. And I think this works. I think this still is clearly that character. But I'm not leaning into the kind of ableist thing. And we were talking about this in the Discord the other day. I mean, this is basically just age. I do this. Like, when I saw myself in the mirror a few days ago, walking like Mr. Burns, and I'm like, stop that. It's gonna have an abnormal brain prop. Not a bad idea, possibly. Excuse me. My voice is giving out already. That's not a good sign. I got the lozenge going. Don't worry. So what we got to do now, clearly, is a couple of things. So let me... Well, first of all, we'll do this. We'll do this, because what we need to do, obviously, eyes. Eyes, I've got a couple of options. But the big one I want to do, focus on this stream for, is the nose. Now, let's see. Get it up here. Hey, that's a bad place for that. 1 second. I'm going to have to go to a different scene, and you're not going to see or hear me. So give me 1 sec. There we go. I mean, it's okay if it covers me up. We need to see chat. We don't need to see me. Over here, is that going to help? Okay, there we go. So, there's the gloriousness of Marty Feldman. And we can talk more about Marty later. I actually read a bit on his biography in preparation for this specifically. It turns out he was a lovely man. So that's the good news, TLDR. He actually was genuinely a great guy. But his unique looks were a result of a thyroid condition that was exacerbated by a car accident. And he talked many times about how, so first of all, he could see just fine. He didn't have any serious vision problems or anything, obviously. Things were a little bit, stereo vision was a little bit of a challenge, but he, didn't need corrective lenses or anything like that. He was fine. But he just looked unconventional. And he said that he could have gone into surgery, and because his nose got broken in the car accident, that's one of the reasons why it looks like that. But he said, I now look unique, and I'm a comic actor. This is furthering my career. Why would I change this? So he leaned into it, and he was proud of it. And so we should be celebrating that, I think. So we are going to honor the genius of Marty Feldman, who was genuinely a brilliant comic actor. Just his sense of timing was just mwah. So, as you know, if you've seen any of the behind the scenes footage from Young Frankenstein, they could barely get through a scene because they were so busy just laughing on set. So, yes, but as we see, Mr. Feldman had a glorious, prominent proboscis. And we need to sort of pay homage to that, I think. And that's going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm still kind of thinking about how we want to do it. I'm going to try something that I haven't actually done before. We're going to try it for the first time here on stream, which is always a good idea. But we'll just see how it goes. This is how the process works. But what we're going to do is we're going to sculpt it out of foam and then cover it in fleece. Now that's pretty standard stuff. But as you can see, it is very almost specifically angled. And the funny thing is, what it reminds me of is actually the Pharaoh Ramses the Great. And I know that's a leap. But Ramses as well was reported to have this kind of profile, right? This very sort of, it was considered to be a very ennobling, regal appearance. And I agree. So let's do that. But we really are going to have to sculpt this carefully. That's going to be the challenge. So let me just slide Marty over there for a second. So the way I normally would go about making a nose like this is I would first do a cardboard template of just the profile that I want. We're going to do that. And then I would just like trace that in foam and start carving. And we're basically going to do that, but instead of using my standard upholstery style foam, because the stuff I have, or at least is easily available that I can get out quickly, is very, very soft, and it would not be good for this. We want something with a bit of structure to it because we want it to hold its shape. Once the fleece, when you put the fleece on it, the adhesive, it always kind of mushes it down and undefines it a little bit, and we want to keep some of that clear definition. So what I'm actually thinking of doing is carving it in EVA foam, which I don't have a lot of experience with. Now the prop makers out there will absolutely have, please keep on looking at you, a lot of experience with EVA foam. I've only got a little piece of it, but it'll be enough to do a nose. So we're going to just start there. I'm just going to do it my standard way, but use EVA foam, which is much more structure. It's quite rigid, but still, you can still bend it and stuff. So we're just going to go from there. So let me see, what camera should I use? Maybe we'll go to the overhead cam to start. Yeah. And let me get the mouse out of the way here. So if I go here, here are some of the eye options. We'll look at these a bit later. We're going to focus on the nose. Are all chats dead on screen or just Owncast? Uh-oh. Is the Owncast chat not working? Hang on. Holdeth the phone. Oh no. I'm not actually sure how to make that work because Owncast chat's weird and different. Let me see. Let me see. I shall investigate the Owncast situation. I haven't done it yet, but I'm actually moving the Owncast. Hang on. My username on Owncast on this browser in this room is random. Change name. We're going to call this OP Studio. Checking it now. Yep. Okay. That is not working. I'm going to check and make sure that the Owncast stream is actually playing. This may sound weird for a second. Okay. The stream is actually playing? Yes, it is. Okay. I was just still for a moment. So let me try. Go to our little utility here. And activate source. Hey! I think we got it. I just had to reactivate the source. I'm going to do that for PeerTube as well, just in case there's anybody watching on PeerTube. There's never anybody watching on PeerTube. But just to make sure that we got it. There's PeerTube done. We know Twitch is working. I assume YouTube is still working. Okay. I think we're good. Checking. Yeah, the numbers are a bit weird actually. The bit rate's a bit weird, but oh well. We'll go with it. Check. Thank you, Indy. Yeah, okay. Hopefully that will stay. If it goes away, I don't know what to tell you. I just reactivated it, so hopefully that's good. Figures on the last stream before Halloween, stuff goes wrong, and we're back. Okay, good. Let's hopefully it will stay. Yes, this is Social Stream Ninja, or Social Ninja Stream, or whatever the heck it's called. It's the only way I can merge all of the chats, at least that I found. All right, let me start. First thing I'm gonna do is gonna cut us a chunk of EVA foam. Now, the first problem you will see immediately. It's curvy. We want this to lay flat. That should be easily attainable by just warming it up with a hairdryer. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. YouTube chat was broke for a moment, seems to all be working now. I just upgraded the Social Stream Ninja app before we streamed, which I know is always a smart idea. And perhaps that's the issue. I don't know. I apologize if it's going wrong. If y'all are quiet for a long time, I'll check it again. Technically, I'm everywhere. It's true. Thank you, Indiescape. You're juicing the numbers. That's my favorite kind of numbers. Okay, I'm gonna grab the hairdryer here. We're just gonna warm this up a little bit. Updates before stream. I know. You'd think I'd know better. It's not like I've never done this before. Anyway. That worked just fine. So that's relatively flat now. That's all we need. So I'm actually going to get the picture of Marty back up here, which is going to be in the way of everything else. Okay. I should actually get it up on my screen that isn't going to block anything else, so I can use it as a reference. Sounds crazy, I know. Okay, there we go. I've got it up on my screen now. I've only got one monitor in here, and not much real estate, let me tell you. Between the stream and the chat, I got nothing. Let me put it up here with the chat that I've already read. That's logical. Okay, good. That should do. Yeah. I'm gonna get a piece of cardboard. Actually, I got some cardstock right here for making other Igor patterns. The body on this, incidentally, the body was kind of interesting to make because I haven't done this before. I've always done the hole in the top, and this time it's a hole. I mean, I can't take this off to show you, unfortunately, at this point, but there's a hole like in the front part of the body itself, and then I put a ring of boning around that rather than like in the top, and clearly it works just fine. So first time I've done that. I've been thinking about doing it for a while because I want to do characters with like hunched shoulders and stuff, right? This is the way I would assume to do that. All right, let me grab a pencil here. So, I mean, we got to get the size right. We have to get the angles right. That's what we're worried about right now, is kind of the profile. So, now thankfully the surface of the face, you know what? This is actually kind of handy if I just do this. I'm going to stand up for this so I can see it from the top. This is the way. I knew someone was going to say it. Okay, this will give me, hopefully, the proper curve that I need to go against. I'm just going to make a really rough size reference there. This is incorrect, but that's okay. So he does have that kind of double angle thing going on here. You can see it, the bridge of the nose starts out and then there's an angle change. So I'm gonna do that. I am gonna make it like more geometrical than it should be, but again, once the fleece goes on it and once all the carving is done, that will soften all of these lines. I know it's hard to see because of the contrast. Take this away, will that help? The auto contrast? A bit. Okay. So after that, and then he's got, then you know, a little bit on the end of our noses. Everyone's got. Kind of like that. Yeah. And then of course we'll have the nostrils, but we're not building the nostrils into this part, but we're just going to show where they go. And I think we want to, so this is actually fairly close to real life. This being something of a kind of a caricature, we want to sort of make this a little bit more exaggerated. So the impression, although if you actually see it in real life, we're talking specifically about Marty Feldman's nose, which is a weird subject to talk about exclusively. But when you see Marty's regal nose in real life, or at least in pictures, you don't want to see it in real life anymore. Hey, Halloween humor. Embellishment, exactly. It looks like a nose, really, but the impression that you get, and also because he had a prominent chin, is almost that cartoon witch. Can think of like the hooked nose and the hooked chin kind of coming up to meet each other. So that's kind of what I want to lean into. It will clearly be Igor then, right? Again, this is more Igor than Marty. That's kind of where I'm landing with this. So I think doing it like kind of this might be the way to go. And then we'll just do the nostrils on the side like that. So I think we'll cut this out and we'll just have a look at this in profile. See if it just do a little vibe check. See if that feels right. Have our reference so we can burn Marty Feldman's nose into our brains for the rest of our lives. There are much worse uses for a brain. Just ask Igor. I actually have a shirt that has the Boris Karloff Frankenstein's monster on it. But it, my spouse got it for me before I lost all the weight. And so it's absolutely gigantic on me. And I even looked into trying to like make it fit me. And I would have to cut so much away that the sleeves, the actual like where the sleeves end in my shirts now, is where the sleeve, like the torso part ends and the sleeve begins. And it's when it's so big. Oof. Time passes. I wish it would stop doing that. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to sit up again so I can see it from the top. That's pretty good. I think that... That's the other thing. We want to see it with the mouth closed because we do want to kind of get that overhang, right? That's pretty good, actually. I think we may just go with that. Well, this is how, if I'm doing a human style nose, this is always how I do it. I'll just start with it from this point. You know what? I like it. I think we'll just go with that. All right. Wow. Got it in one. Doesn't happen very often. Oops. The other thing I have to do with the main puppet here is I'm going to throw a couple of tacking stitches on the cowl, because the cowl is sewn on in places but not everywhere. And like down here, you know, we kind of want to add a couple of just like a stitch here, a stitch here, a stitch here. I don't want to sew it all the way around. I just want to add like a couple of stitches to hold it in place. But yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Okay. I am not by any means an illustrator. I do not have the kind of drawing talent I would like to have. I am in awe of people who do. So now, grab, I guess, a Sharpie? Also grab a thin marker and see if that one will work. Okay, we'll try with the thin one first. So we're going to take our EVA foam here. We're just going to trace this out. Yeah, it works quite well. Now cutting this out is going to be interesting. So I know it's a little hard to see, but there it is. Okay. The nice thing about the fleece I used here is it's a slightly green tinted gray, right? And that means if I can find some grayish, either brain work, craft foam, that's the word. Either some grayish craft foam or some gray felt, which I think I do have. I'll do the tongue out in gray, and so the whole puppet will still look like it's in black and white, right? Which is, I think, awesome. I really love that idea. So I'm gonna see if I can find something, and if not, I won't do a tongue in that case. If I don't have some gray fabric that I can use for a tongue, I'll not do a tongue, because I don't want to put a red tongue in there, because then it won't be black and white anymore. So. And as we know, Young Frankenstein is shot in black and white. So I'm gonna grab my heavy-ish foam shears here. We're gonna try it with that to start. Also going to grab my smaller foam shears and my even smaller curved foam shears, and that's what we're going to be using for carving, for actually like sculpting the thing. I'm going to cut it out to start with these big scissors. See, not too bad. I know that a lot of times, like, people will use like hot wire method to cut this stuff out. I do actually have one. I've never used it. I've never really needed to up until this moment right now. Okay, there's that. It's going to get tricky. Let me try with a slightly smaller scissors. Keep those contours. Ooh, this is actually getting kind of difficult. Take away some of this material so we can kind of get in there. Start from the bottom too. Maybe doing it like this is a smarter idea. Actually doing it in like single cuts rather than trying to go around a curve, doing snip, snip, snip. That. Let's try that. And just slowly refining it, kind of like sculpting. I think we're gonna lose a bunch of definition, which kind of sucks, but oh well. Life isn't perfect, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I only use my hot wire when I am very detailed and seal the foam for painting. My Deathstroke armor is the best example of it for 2015. See, I knew the prop makers out there would know a thing or two about that. Okay, it's not too bad. A little chunky, but that's all right. We're gonna cover this with police anyway, so. Police hides all sins. I'm also gonna try sanding this a little bit. I know, like foam, you can usually sand it, and this should sand quite well. But it's not too bad. So let's have a look here. Yeah, I think we're getting there. So of course the next challenge is we now want to work on building this outwards here. Put up there. Wow, I'm trying to look at the monitor and do this at the same time. It's not easy. So what I'm gonna do, the way I usually do this with soft foam is I'll basically just do this part. This is all 1/2 inch, so this is the same width that I usually do, and then I'll just build a couple of nostrils onto the side and then cover it in foam. So that's the next thing. So the nostrils, if we look at our little template here, the nostrils are just kind of like squashed half circles. After Halloween, I should bring the hot wire again to make Marie from Halloween Town. Skeleton taxi driver, nice. My vote is yes, do that. I've noticed Owncast hasn't chatted in a while. Let me just make sure that it's working. It's okay to be quiet, it's fine. I just want to make sure that we're not having technical difficulties. Okay, good. It looks like, yeah, it looks like, are we good? Yes, we are good. Okay, never mind. All good. It's for the sake of completeness. Be good. All right, good. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. It's okay. No, please feel free to lurk. I'm quite happy to have you lurk. I just wanted to make sure there was no technical issues. Your lav sounds like it has a loose connection though. Thank you for telling me, because this actually is a new lav mic. And because I now know that, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mute the mic for a second. Just give me a second. All right, now I get to be all Adrian's digital basement. I'm just wearing it, right? Because I use a Rodecaster Go just like Adrian and Adrian's digital basement, but I also use the lav mic that gets attached to it, just so I don't have this, you know, hanging off my shirt the whole time. But my old one actually did start to give way and make crackling noises that were bad. Yeah, this is the go-to. Yeah, that's what this is. So I got some other ones, but they're like generic. They're not like the good ones that Rode sells. So this was the first time I was using one of these. So that's hopefully the issue. If it still starts to crackle, let me know, because wow, my focus is weird. Anyway, not like I ever do camera checks. Because if not, then the problem is this or the transmitter. And so I got to do something about that. Don't know what, but again, audio is always the problem. But you can just deal with this situation for the moment. I'll figure it out later. The money's tight, so I got no money for the nice mic anymore, unfortunately. No, please, by all means, when something like that happens, I want to know, because I can't hear it, right? I don't have headphones on or anything, so I don't know. I won't know unless you tell me, so thank you. I do appreciate it. All right, back to the puppets. Overhead camera, that's this button. Okay, so nostrils. We had got to nostrils. Welcome to Nostril Town. That's a bad town. We don't want to go to Nostril Town. Can we go to Candy Gumdrop Town? I don't want to go to Nostril Town again. That's just funnier in Frankie's voice. All right, just gonna take a couple of chunks of EVA foam here. You know, I probably want to make a template for this too, just so I can make sure that get them relatively the same size, etc., and not just eyeball it like I normally would. All right, got a couple of chunks of EVA foam here. Well, take out the piece of cardstock. The problem with cardstock is it's opaque, so I can't exactly trace that. I guess I'll eyeball the template, which should be fine. Yeah, that's right. I only want to make it a little bit bigger than what drawing is, just to make sure we got it. I'm also going to make the bottom flat and then carve it away to match the bottom of the nose rather than trying to match the curve. Let's do it right from that. Yeah, I hope that was the new bad mic and not anything else in the audio chain, because when you pay $20 for 2 mics, what do you expect? All that, you know, generic garbage that you get from certain online shopping websites is, in the words of Cathode Ray Dude, designed, engineered to go from the factory to the landfill in the shortest amount of time. Which is almost literally true, which is where we're at. Welcome to capitalism, folks. Okay, so here we go. We've got our two. Oh, you know what? I should have reversed that. Just because the profile is slightly different and we want to make sure they're mirrored. So. Cathode ray dude wild in the mentioned in the wild. I love cathode ray dude. That cathode ray dude is one of my comfort watches. I every time that Gravis puts out a new video, I'm overjoyed because then I have something to watch if I'm like on the exercise bike or I gotta go down to the gym. I adore people who put out long form video content. It literally keeps me healthy because then I have a reason to like, it makes exercising that much easier. I don't have to think about the exercising. I can just watch a fun video. One of the reasons why I like short form video just doesn't do it for me particularly in my life, because I have an attention span. I'm sorry. All right, so if we look at this before we even trim it down, it's down there, right? It's becoming 3D. It's becoming spectral. It's good. That's what we want. So I think what I'm gonna do, I wish YouTube didn't incentivize long form video so hard. Well, this is the thing, right? We're all being trained. Here we go. Kevin's getting on the lecture soapbox. And this has been happening for generations. This isn't just the current generation. This isn't a problem with the kids. This has been a problem since I was a kid. We are being trained to have shorter and shorter attention spans because they want to keep the fire hose going, so we will consume and consume and consume, right? That is the point. We are literally being conditioned to have low attention spans. TikTok is the worst offender currently. So, you know. Oh no. Oh, is it when I'm turning my head? All right, here's what we're gonna do then. It's peaking. I'll turn it down a little bit. I'll speak up-ish. Maybe I'll also move it to the middle. Hopefully that will help. I knew the mics were going to be a problem. Oh well. Fortunately, I can't do it now. Yeah, the short attention span problem is a problem. Anyway, and I don't have it. I've actively fought against it. And that's a problem. It's one of the reasons why I can never make any headway in social media. Anyway. Back to the puppets, Kevin. Get off your soapbox. Okay, I'm gonna glue these nostrils down, and I'm just gonna use hot glue to do it because we're gonna do more after this. So, I'm just gonna glue these on with hot glue just so they stay in place and I can sort of finish the carving. So let me grab the hot glue. Grab a piece of paper here so I don't get hot glue on my work surface. Also gonna move, I got the hands ready to go here. Move those out of the way. Okay, we're gonna go like that. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm just gonna put some hot glue on the surface here. I think I am. Hello, yes, there we go. Hold it like that. And now we do the hot glue waiting ritual. The nice thing about hot glue and foam is going directly on foam is it actually melts the foam a little bit and it causes quite a strong bond. So one of the few places that hot quote-unquote glue actually behaves as glue. Did you see that? See what I did there? I put it on in the wrong direction. That's not where that goes. Oh, okay, good. We didn't wait too long. we can fix the problem that I just caused. It goes on this way, not this way. This is the side that goes against the head. Everything's fine. Try that again, shall we? Do it the right way this time. Go hot snot for voice. You know, good phrasing. It's appropriate. Okay, I'm going to do both at the same time, and then so I can hold them both at the same time, and then hopefully they'll be done at the same time. So they don't move around. And I'm aiming for symmetry, and I will never achieve it, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But now I just got to sit here and hold this. our once and future knows. So, while I'm waiting. It's 11 o'clock already? How did that happen? We're halfway through the stream. We've only just started our nose. Oh well. I'm going to try and get a lozenge with one hand. Can you do it? Can I do it? The one thing that I got going for me. I don't have a lot of advantages, but I am quite dexterous. So. Count your blessings, kids. All right. I don't have to hold this anymore, but I still don't want to start cutting into this until this is really set. So we're just going to chill for a minute. Because that's literally the next thing to do, so. Ooh, actually, it's 11 o'clock. We're halfway. I'm going to refresh my coffee. I will be right back. And hopefully the mic is still working. Let me know if there's weird crackling or whatnot, or if I'm moving too much. I'll try to stand, I'll practice my yoga poses. I'll stand very still. I'll be right back. All right, good to know about the mic. I mean, if we just have to go with this, then let me try turning it up again, because I can see on the levels it's not quite where it should be, but that should be better. I don't know. It could also be the Go XLR that I'm plugged into. It could be a lot of things. It's audio. There's a lot of things in this chain, and it could be any one of them. But we will see. That lav mic did come in a 2-pack, so maybe the other one's better, just has a better connection or something. I don't know. Or it's entirely possible that because I had the mic on the inside, it could have been, you know, brushing up against material. Who knows? I'll experiment. I'll try some tests. Hopefully before next stream. Which, speaking of which, let me think. What have I got coming up? I'm starting some more commissions starting next week. And then we're going to be pretty close to December, so I don't know. Yeah, audio is, don't even get me started, although I've already started. Audio is always the problem, always, always. So I became a podcaster and my own audio engineer. People who are successful podcasters pay people to do that. Not me. Okay. That's why we put out a 2-hour podcast every 2 weeks. How's this? All right, that feels pretty good. That's pretty solid. So let's start just carving this. I'm going to move the glue gun aside here. The reason I'm using the tiny one, y'all might remember that I usually use my larger, where is it here? It's all tangled up. My larger kind of industrial one. For the longest time, I was ordering, I actually do have a brand preference in hot glue, and it's Gorilla brand. I find it's quite good. And actually like noticeably different than like cheap no-name brands. And for the longest time, that must have been wrong in Amazon's catalog because I was ordering the full-size sticks, but they were sending me mini sticks. And rather than like go through the rigmarole of trying to get that corrected and sending them back, I'm like, well, it's still hot glue. I can still use it. So that's why I ran out of the full-size sticks. And I'm like, I have like 4 full bags of mini sticks. I just got to use it. So that's why I'm out of the mini gun now. It's just like, I just got to use this up. I have so much of it. Okay. So now that we're here, I just want to do a little bit of carving. I just want to like, you know, get rid of some of these right angles, basically. And unfortunately, that's kind of hard to show on stream because I'm just kind of like trimming away material. I don't want to go too far, and some flat edges you kind of want. I'm just kind of rounding it out, creating a lot of shrapnel. Like this edge here, we don't want to carve that away because that's going up flat against the skull. So here we want to. So usually what I do if I'm trying to get rid of like a right angle like this, I'll just start by like going right along the corner and just cutting that off, and then just like slowly refining it down. You don't actually have to go too far. You just kind of want to round out these angles a little bit. This will also soften once the fleece goes on it. And will also look a little bit bigger when the fleece goes on as well, because the fleece will just add thickness, right? So, and that's why I'm a little bit concerned that our nice little kind of curve here is going to get lost once the fleece goes on it, but I guess we'll see. This actually isn't too bad already. I do believe this may be usable. So I know it doesn't look hugely different, but it's just kind of softer, which is where we want it to be. I think I also want to see about looking at it sort of top down like that. I think we need to like bevel the edges of the nostrils, which is a very strange sentence. Who doesn't like a nice nostril bevel? Nostril. Good heavens. Nostril bevel. Nostril bevel. Famous conductor. Composed operas. Meister nostril bevel. He's losing it. Today's the day. Now we're here to witness when Kevin lost it on street. What you gotta tell your children about this day. I was there, Gandalf, when the puppet builder went loopy on stream. Okay, that's pretty good. Then we used a hairbrush cleaner to pick your seams. First making tutorial recommended it. Never heard of it. That's interesting. I have heard of it. I've never used it. But that's interesting. Now, of course, they're talking, I'm assuming, about fur. Which I can absolutely see, because really all you want to do is like get the fibers stuck down into the seam. We just want to pull them out, right? So that makes sense that would work. I would be concerned that on like a small fleece puppet, that would just be too much. It would just like tear up the fleece. But worth an experiment for sure. But yeah, no, it's intriguing, and also like, fur is a problem, particularly on a machine sewn seam. I can see that being a thing. They were using fleece on that tutorial. Okay, good. Well, you know what? Cool. Let me. That sounds like it's worth the experiment. I've never done it personally, but it absolutely sounds plausible, if nothing else. I mean, if you saw it in a demo, I'm sure it does work. I've just never done it. But I also don't worry that much about my seams, to be honest. Personal preference, but for something like this, for example, you will notice that seam's not bad. That's pretty good, right? And I just hand sewed that. That's my baseball stitch from the inside. That's what that is. I haven't picked that seam at all. They're just as they emerged, and so it also depends on how much time you have, right? That's the thing. You can make anything look like anything with enough time. That's always the problem. So now we are at the point, now that we've got our nose in this shape, I'm going to want to try and cover this with fleece, and just to see what that's going to look like. So I need to clear some space because there's a lot of junk on the table right now. I gotta get my little cardboard backsplash out, spray this down with some spray adhesive, and then just glom some fleece onto it and start trimming it away and seeing how that goes. So I'm gonna clear some space to start. Get rid of these. We don't need them. I didn't even use the small ones. I'm not going for a lot of definition on this. Just kind of like that. Let me put the template aside if I ever decide, or anyone else ever wants an Igor. This will be going up on the shop, FYI. This is not for a commission. This is going to be for whoever wants it. First come, first serve for your Igor. I'm going to move Igor to a different part. Igor can sit next to Kermit here. I don't want to get spray adhesive. Turn on the fan. Thankfully the rain has tapered off, so I'm going to open the outside window a little bit more here. Make sure we got more ventilation. I'm also going to close the door, because although Jimmy was in my lap at the very beginning of the stream and then freaked out as soon as I talked, because he's never heard that before. And of course, the gloves go on, so the rings come off. Sad goth. And before I put the gloves on, I'm gonna get another lozenge. I do try and reuse my gloves as often as I can until they actually tear. And I'll use them over and over again. That's why I turn them inside out like that. So that way, when I get glue and stuff on them, it's only on one side. All right, the gloves are on. One day I will remember to save a cardboard box. Actually, I should be getting a cardboard box today. It's got a big thing of fiber fill in it that I can use, because this used to be my backsplash to just sort of protect from the sprays, but it's been like, it's just, there's nothing left. It's just, it's just collapsed. So, I don't know why I'm still using this, because I keep forgetting. So I'm just gonna put this here. I'm gonna put the fleece in here, and this is, like, you can see here, this is just to stop the spray from going everywhere. That's all this is for. Grab the fleece here. A chunk of it. And the direction of the stretch, let's see. Oh, actually, that's going to look pretty good. Yeah, okay. It kind of doesn't matter. I think I want the stretch to be going like this way, like horizontally across that. I don't want it vertical, which is where it's going now. So that's opposite to what I want. I'm just going to cut a square. We'll go from there. Well, the tricky part here is actually balancing your glue load. Which, at my time of life, let me tell you, I don't know, there's a joke there somewhere. Because you don't want too much, but you don't want too little. You want enough that it's really going to hold. Okay, so that's horizontal, so we want it going like that. Okay, nose is going to go like that. Yes, okay. So, I know it's hard to see because of this. Is this better? Yeah, maybe a little. So we got our spray adhesive here, and you'd think I was shilling for Gorilla the way. This is just what I was able to get. Although if you want to give me free stuff, Gorilla, please, by all means do. On. Ooh, that's really gummed up. I mean, as one would expect. On with the spray adhesive. We're putting down a fairly decent coat, and we're not gonna touch that yet. We're gonna let that sit. Just a minute. I'm gonna hit it with a hairdryer for a second. But not too long. You still want this, and this will dry relatively quickly, so you do kind of have to work fast. Hopefully that will be good enough. So I'm going to place the nose right in the middle. Top, oops, wrong camera. Place the nose face down. Do the noses have faces? And then I'm going to pull this tight and kind of wrap it around to the back. What you want to be careful is that you don't get because you've got glue on your gloves now. You don't want to get that on the front part where it's going to be seen. That's kind of where we go. This is actually going pretty good. Huh. So you're probably going to have some unfortunate wrinkles. Sometimes you can work them out. Sometimes you just got to go with them. And just say, F it, that's now part of the puppet. All right. That's actually not bad. Huh. That turned out way better than I was afraid it was going to. I can see where it's going already, and it's a pretty good place. I gotta pull this back bit apart here because there's a wrinkle here I really don't want. So, let's see, how's that? That kept a fair amount of definition. That's pretty good. Okay. All right. In the immortal words of Dr. Frank N. Furter, oh, I just love success. So, now what we're going to do, I'm going to take my non-stick scissors and we're going to trim away the excess. And we're going to do that. And the way I wrap this is in a very specific direction, right? Most of the part that's going to show is where I could have wrapped from. So this is where you want to like keep it as seamless as possible. The seam is going to be in the back, which won't matter because we're sewing this against the head, and on the underside of the nose. And this is the part that we're going to actually stitch close with ladder stitch. So we're just going to trim away. The excess fabric. And there's a little kind of blip in the back here, that's fine. Because remember, this is going against the head, you're not going to see that. So, get rid of the excess, and really not bad. Not bad at all. That's pretty good. Okay. Surprise. I am surprised, because like I said, this is the first time I've tried doing this with EVA foam, so note to self, do it more. I actually want to trim this a little bit more. Maybe I'll get the sharper scissors because I don't really need non-stick here. I'm going to trim this right down as far as it'll go. The current track is pretty good, you're right. This is all courtesy. Oh, I can't show it here because it's on camera. Hang on. Courtesy of streamtunes.com. This is all free to stream with. It's good stuff. Thank you very much, person or people at Streamtunes. Credit where it's due. Unlike certain giant multi-billion-dollar companies, I don't steal stuff. That's for you, Sam Altman. Okay, so now, you know what, let's look at it against the head. We've done all this. We're not going to keep doing technical stuff. We want to see this against the head, right? Clearly. All right. Moment of semi-truth. In fact, I'm going to get a clip here and I'm going to close the mouth, because that's kind of the more important angle that we want to see. All right. Moment of truth. As I knock my garbage pail over. I gotta stand up so I can see this. Oh yeah. That's wow. I'm looking at the picture of Marnie right now, and this is really close. Like that's really not bad at all. Oh, good heavens, that's much better than I thought it was gonna be. Oh yeah. Okay. Baby. We, as the kids say, got it. So now, thank you. So now what I'm gonna do is there's a seam on the bottom here, and this would be visible, but I'm just gonna ladder stitch this closed. So that's the next thing. So I think we'll probably just go to this camera to do that, because I can't really show that. I have to like look at it close up. So another reason why I need a better camera setup for close-up stuff. It's tricky to get that set up. I admire, like, you know, sewing YouTubers and stuff who have a decent setup for that, because I don't. But actually, maybe we should go to the overhead cam just so you can see something occasionally. It's not going to be a lot, I warn you. So let's see. I think this is the thread that I used. This is pretty good match. Okay. So I am, as usual, going to use my curved needle for this. I got some spray adhesive on the work surface here. I can feel it. It's yucky. Ugh, gross. Oh well. I go through several of these mats every year, as you may guess. Thank you, Pinecone. Thank you. Even I am surprised at how good that looks. I haven't done a lot of human style noses. Maybe I'll start. One thing I've never really done, this is, I guess technically the first time I've done this, is do like a look-alike puppet where it's like supposed to look like an actual person. I have had a couple of requests, but it's just not my wheelhouse, right? So there's a fair amount of caricature involved with that, and I'm just not good at that. This is one of those rare cases where it actually kind of worked out. So I'm going to start at the front and work my way to the back, trying to hide as much of the thread as I can. This is tricky because you're going in with something that's got adhesive on the back of it, so your needle gets all kind of gummed up. You just have to hope that it goes well. Let's trim off this frayed bit there. You know what? No, I'm not going to start at the front. I'm going to start at the back. I don't think there's a real good way to hide that knot at the beginning. I would rather have a stitch and a little frayed bit hanging off the end, because it's a nose. You don't want anything hanging off the end. The implications for a nose are not good. So, because this is at the back, this won't be seen. So you really gotta kind of push it through there. You gotta give it some force. And then we start ladder stitching. Now, thankfully, because of the way that spray adhesive works, after it dries, the edges here kind of lift off a little bit, and it is actually possible to get the needle between the fleece and the foam to do a proper ladder stitch. So I'm aiming, we'll see how this goes, but I'm aiming to have Igor done today because I want to do the big reveal tomorrow, obviously, for Halloween. Although I guess I could also take tomorrow morning to work on it. I am extremely pleased with how this went. It's nice when you try something for the first time and it works out. I mean, I've done very similar things before, but never in this material, so it's always nice to learn something new. Like, I should do more sculpting in EVA foam because it's actually kind of cool. Every prop maker out there is going, yeah. Puppet builders, huh? And they're reticulated foam. Ooh, reticulated. Look at how reticulated you are. I think Kevin might be spiraling. It is a gloomy and rainy Wednesday before Halloween. It's got a very particular vibe going on right now. This is one of the reasons why I look so like underexposed. The camera's so dark. It's just yucky outside. Despite my gothy leanings, I actually like sunny days. Because all stereotypes are inherently false. No, I'm with you, Eddie. Sunny, chill days, absolutely the best. Moody, rainy days, yeah, I can see it. Depends on what I'm doing. I much prefer, like, I try to get about 30 minutes worth of moderate exercise in a day, and I much prefer to go for a walk outside than I do to like get on the treadmill or the exercise bike. So that's all weather dependent, of course. We are now at the point where it's getting just a little too chilly for that, and I don't like it. It's funny, it's not even like the rest of me, it's literally just my fingertips, and no amount of gloves fixes it. And I actually think that has to do with the diabetes, because the blood vessels in your fingers and your toes get damaged. Hey, more medical stuff on the puppet building stream, isn't that fun? For my birthday this year, my spouse got me a very nice black kind of London fog style trench coat, like what Humphrey Bogart would wear, but black, and I absolutely love it. She knows what I like. So you'll have to have a doctor puppet to teach medical stuff, you know? It will just be the doctor puppet looking into the camera and going, that's it, that's the show. That should be, Frankie should have a news show, which is just him just like holding his phone up and going, Ugh. Be careful with the stethoscope, yeah. Frankie reacts. Yeah, that'll be easy. All I have to do is shoot it once. The other thing I didn't think about at the time, but now that I'm actually looking at it, is we don't actually have like nostril holes, as it were, down where there would be nostril holes, and I don't know if we need to worry about that. I think we probably don't. I might be able to draw them in with marker. I wouldn't want to do them as like an applique or anything. But I also suspect because of the angles, we don't actually need them. Let me see. We'll put the nose back on the head for a second and see if we think we actually need them. But how will the puppet breathe? I got some bad news for you, or possibly some good news. I don't like this thread, it's very thin. I need better thread for what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I don't have any. Make do with what we got. All right, we're kind of coming to the end here. I'm just gonna throw a couple of whip stitches in there. Will not. To close it off. And we will see. You see why this would be really hard for me to show close up, because like I gotta hold it so it's small and I have to hold it really close in, so trying to get a camera in there is like impossible. Okay. So there we go. Now it's not perfect. You can definitely see the C, but remember the nose is also going to be like this, so you're hardly ever going to see that angle. That's kind of the point. That's why we put it there. So let's go to, I guess, this camera and have a look here. I think what I'm going to do, because the next step is to actually stitch this onto the face, and that's literally just me standing here sewing, and that's boring, and it's probably going to take about half an hour to do. And considering it's 11:30, I think maybe we may be calling it, but let's do a couple of little things before we do that. Just get this in a more helpful position. There we go. Okay, yeah. Oh man. I'm very, very happy with that. We've actually got it in the middle. So I'm going to pin this a little bit. This is actually good because it is kind of accidentally curved a little bit. I didn't mean to do that, but thankfully, Marty did have that accident wherein it broke and then curved his nose. So that's actually more accurate. So I'm just going to pin this in place here. It is a Bob Ross level happy accident. I'm hitting the mouth plate here. So, this isn't quite lined up right, but you'll get the idea. It's close. It's not bad. Again, me and symmetry, right? Never the closest of allies. Oh, this is pretty. Hang on. Can we get the? I mean, come on. That's not bad. That's really not bad at all. You know, like. Yeah. Okay, enough, Kevin. Now you're basking. So of course the big question, the most prominent, the most noticeable feature on our beloved Igor are the eyes. So I have had one or two thoughts about that. So the first thought is, of course, just your standard hemisphericals, which are quite large, and that's already pretty good. Like that's, I know it's a little bit hard to see, but you know, you get the idea. And of course, the other thing, Marty did have some gloriously prominent eyebrows. So I think we also probably want to do that. But I don't want to make that call until we actually close what the eyes are going to be. So this is option one, and that's like that would absolutely work. If we go with that, that's like already we're kind of there. The other option, oops, I knocked over a camera that we're not using, is to do like really like lean into the eye thing, right? This might be too much. Like that almost seems like it's mocking to me. That doesn't seem complimentary. What hump? You know? Hey, that's true. This almost seems like it's not a friendly way of presenting this. I think we won't do the really huge eyes. I think I am going to go for these. Just actually look more like Marty's actual eyes, right? Yeah, you're right. Yep. But what we are definitely going to do, get the picture back here. Marty had some very prominent eye bags, right? And his eyes were quite sunken as well as the thyroid condition, making them bulge like that. So I definitely want to do eye bags. I think that's a no-brainer. And the kind that I was gonna do, unfortunately, the thing I printed it the wrong scale. So these aren't gonna be the right size for these eyes. Let me see if I can, maybe for demonstration purposes, I can show these. The two eyes and pupils do not need to be symmetrical. No, you're absolutely right. Oh, these might actually work. So what I've got, let me show you this. I've done, oops, Marty, you're in the way. I've done this before, and I really like doing these. These are just like 3D printed eye bags, basically. This is in black. I probably will keep it in black because I want to lean into the black and white thing. But this is just a little, you can kind of see how it's contoured. So this just sits in there like that. We've got our nice little eye bag like that. And I just glue these together, right? I thought I printed these at the wrong size. Apparently I didn't. These work just fine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. What are we even doing? That's perfect. And you know, I will have enough room in here to put a nice big bushy eyebrow as well. That's gonna be perfect. We got it. That's it. We're going. This is it. Like, this is. Yep. Yep. Ah! The moment's been ruined. Hang on. We'll get it back. So, yeah. You know. You can see where we're going. Yeah. Okay. Well, we know what we're doing now. And I am pleased. Thank you. That was, honestly, I did not expect it to go quite as well as this. I mean, I had a vision, obviously, but it was really just me trying stuff out. And that's how I build everything. I just go, oh, maybe this. And if you're lucky, it doesn't work all the time, but sometimes it does work. And here's a very good example of what it absolutely did. So, yeah, I have to stitch that nose on next. That is the next thing. And that's going to take a while. So it's 11:39 already. We usually go till noon. So rather than having you sit here and watch me stitch something, we're going to call it there. I'm going to have a bit of an early lunch and then get back to Igor-ing. Hopefully it'll be done today. I still have to finish making the hands yet, which can be a bit time consuming, so we will see. If not today, then obviously tomorrow morning, because Igor must be ready for Halloween, so that's the thing. Thank you everybody once again for joining me. Every time I get worried that the social media is forgetting me or whatever, y'all are always there and come out for me, so I appreciate it. This weekend, I did the thing again. I forgot to do all of this at the top. Like and subscribe, etc. Whatever platform you're on. I'm on. I'm everywhere. This weekend, I hope to be doing some video game streaming on the second channel, Pixels and Puppets. If you're on Owncast or PeerTube, stay where you are, because that's where it's going to be. If you are on Twitch or YouTube, there is a second channel linked off of the first called Pixels and Puppets, where I do all my game and tech streaming. That will be there, if so please, by all means, join those channels. And yes, thank you, indeed. Yes, do the thing. You know the thing. Like, subscribe, interact in some fashion. Because the algorithm, I don't know. I'm going to go have more coffee, because clearly that's what I need. Have a very happy Halloween, everybody. I'm sure we'll be doing this again next week. I plan to do more build streams for the foreseeable future, so that is that. Thank you very much. Happy Halloween, and have a nice rest of your day.